Hello! Hello, hello, hello. What the? I don't know what that is. But yeah, welcome. Time to get into some more. It's Higurashi time. Or something like that. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Alright. I guess we're starting off with rudeness. Good to know. Hello, Golden. Okay. Oh, you. God dang it.
I got some jelly beans.
Oh my.
I like jelly beans.
Just the two for now. Well, I appreciate it either way. Thank you, Golden. And
I got
yes,
some jelly beans. I like jelly beans.
I do like jelly beans. Thank you very much. I was having such a happy dream. Satoshi-kun was in the dream. He was leading his normal, everyday life. He was back on the baseball team. Eri and I acted normally around him because we knew that's how mature people should act. We welcomed him back as if he had been here with us the whole time. Although he hits well in practice sessions, he still doesn't do real well in a real game. Come on, Satoshi-kun. 3 strikes already? I'm cheering for you. Then Satoshi-kun pouted as he mumbled. I felt tears pouring down my face. Slap that hag's head. Oh wait, wrong. Higurashi's He hit her with the boy. Oh.
Satoshi-kun. Satoshi...
Oh. Oh. Shion. The happy dream faded out with my sobs. The harder I tried to focus on it, the faster it faded. Soon, it was all gone. I could see the bright morning sun through a crack in the curtains. I was in Mion's room at the Sonozaki house. When did I come back? I was crouching in the corner of the room and crying. A dream is a dream. I wished I hadn't woke up. But one must wake up from a dream. We live in a world where there are no dreams, and that's why we always wake up. But I wasn't sure if I was the only one dreaming that dream. Because I felt like Satoshi-kun was right beside me.
Satoshi-kun? 帰ってきてくれたんだ。
Oh. There was no reply. That was the rule. If it was Satoshi-kun, I wish he'd just smile at me once. But Satoshi-kun's presence faded away, as if he were never there to begin with. Hey, Ark. Let me go ahead and shout you out. Alright, rude. Let me go ahead and get a sip of water, though. I see someone's hyper. I heard the phone ring by the front door. That's right. I was the only one in the house now. I had to answer it. I got up to walk to the front door. I felt unsteady, so I put my hand on the wall to support myself. I hardly got any sleep. It was like I had a bad cold. The phone continued to ring. I probably didn't have to answer it, actually. But I was still half asleep, and all I could think of was answering the phone.
はい、園崎です。
朝早くにすみませんな。君吉でございます。
I'm on shitty train Wi-Fi, so I had to get a bunch of redeems out of the way before I bail. No problem, Art. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. I hope everything's going well and the train ride isn't too bad.
おばあちゃんまだお休みですかな？
It was Uncle Kimiyoshi. God, the lag already has me. Oh no.
はい。
Trains are cool. Or are they hot? Because you gotta like shovel coal in them and then they pour out the steam. Man. It's got me by the leg. I can't escape. He's already not typing well. Oh no. It's dragging him into the train dungeon. Look at yeah, it's got him. He's done. He's a goner.
昨日のが答えたみたいです。しばらく寝かせておこうと思います。
そうだね。無理に起こしちゃ悪いな。ミオンちゃんもこれから学校だよね。じゃあ枕元に伝言を置いといてもらってもいいかな。
わかりました。なんと伝言しましょう。
昨日の件で緊急に役員会を開くことになったんだけど、それをね、今日の夕方の5時から神社の集会所でって伝えてもらえる？
わかりました。伝えておきます。
Oh, alright then. As soon as I put the phone down, it rang again.
はい、園崎です。
早朝から申し訳ありません。葛西と申しますが、ミオンさんですか？おはようございます。
葛西さんですか？おはようございます。
シオンさんはまだそちらにいらっしゃいますか？
I wasn't panicked, but I hesitated. I could tell him no, or I could play both Mion and Shion.
シオンはさっき顔を洗ってました。呼んできますね。
I decided to play two parts. I went back and forth down the hallway and picked up the phone again.
葛西？おはようです。
おはようございます、シオンさん。今日は登校されますか？
するわけないです。軽いし。
まあそんなとこだとは。それでシオンさん、沖宮へ帰る足はありますか？若いのに迎えに行かせますが。
君吉のおじいちゃんとかそのあたりに送ってもらおうかなと思ってます。私のことは放っておいてくれて OK です。
親父さんから出席日数だけは守らせるように厳命を受けていますので。
Oh my god, it's a Mochi. Hey Fuki, how you doing? Hope everything's well.
私の小指のためにもご協力をいただきたいもんです。
まあ気が向いたら努力します。それより葛西、聞いてる？
聞いてるとは？
昨日のあ
れ。一応は恐ろしい話です。
これまでのたたりの犠牲者はさ、みんなダム戦争の時の戦犯だったわけじゃない？それが今年はちょいと路線が違う感じですよね。
Doing about the same as usual, but at least I'm almost done with work. That's always a good thing. Never like to be at work for too long. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. Well, actually, I'm a little bit peeved, but besides that, I'm alright. It's got nothing to do with this game. I was trying to find an alpha Cyndaquil on Legends Arceus earlier, so I could get Alpha Typhlosion, and I just haven't. Ugh, I can't find it. I can't get it, and I'm tired of doing that. So I'm like, just put the controller down. It's okay.
どう思う？
さあ、私の預かり知るところの話ではありません。
Kasai wasn't the type to talk too much. If it was about something complicated, he usually responded like that.
夕べの犠牲者の2人がどうしてお社様のたたりを受けたか知ってる？
いいえ。
実は夕べちょっと聞いた話だと、なんか綿流しの最中に最後殿にこっそり忍び込んだらしいよ。鍵を針金か何かで開けて。
Kasai went silent for a while. Fuki just doesn't care how I'm doing confirmed. Oh my gosh. Don't be so melodramatic, Golden. Golden, how are you? How's your day going? Actually, I've asked you that several times, Golden, and you've never responded. What? Why do you care now? Wait, what? He tells Mochi. Alright. Okay, I guess. I don't know. Kasai went silent for a while. I held my breath while waiting to see how he responded. Oh, good point, Fuki. I expected him to say that he couldn't believe those people were chosen as victims just for sneaking into a storehouse. Two-way street, motherfucker. Tell him, Fuki. Tell him how it is. I expected him to say that it was just too unrealistic.
そうですか。バカなことを。
あまあ、富武さんもそのあたりには疎いよそ者だったってことだね。
He's just doing this to Hangman my name again. I went along with Kasai, but I felt disturbed on the inside. Kasai didn't wonder why breaking into the ritual storehouse would justify their deaths. I'd known Kasai for a long time, which is why I knew there was a heavy meaning to what he said. I'm leaving. No, wait, no. Don't let Golden being stupid drive you away.
でさ、葛西。
I hope you have a lovely day, Mochi. Well, I hope you do too, Fuki.
実はさ、私もなんだけど。
入ったんですか？
うん。
西宮殿に？シオンさんが？
うん。高野さんに一緒にどうって誘われてさ。高野さんと富武さん、そして私と、ほら、前原屋敷に引っ越してきた圭一って男の子と一緒に4人で。
I heard Kasai sighing heavily. Is he making a YouTuber apology video? Even though he didn't say a word, I could tell he was shocked. I'd never known him to act this way before.
シオンさん、去年ああいう一件があったばっかりなんですよ。今度はどうけじめをつけられるおつもりですか？
去 年が爪3枚だったから、奮発して5枚くらい言っとく？
He's like,
あ、ごめん。でも、ふざけてるわけじゃないんだよ。そりゃ私だってやばいとこだって認識はあったよ。少しは。でもさ、そこまでやばいことなわけ？
シオンさんは仮にも園崎本家に縁ある方です。今さらそんなこと言ってまかり通ると思いますか？
っていうか、だって私ずっと沖宮。ばあさんに嫌われて以降、ひなみ沢にはほとんど近づいてもいない。その上、学園に閉じ込められて過ごしてたんですよ。そんなの私が知るはずないじゃない。
I heard another sigh from Kasai. Okay, now I actually have to go by. Alright, Cookie. Hope you have a good rest of your day at work. Well, okay day at least. I don't think I can ever classify work as being, I'm having a good time at work. That sigh told me my excuses would be useless.
シオンさん、私はあなたの味方のつもりです。極力シオンさんを信じてあげたいと思っています。ですが、いくら私でもかばいきれないことがあります。第一、
ごめん。お姉が来たから切ります。じゃね。
Click. I interrupted Kasai and hung up. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear Kasai reject me, who had been my ally all my life.
チェ、参ったなあ。
I could hear the sound of the cicadas. The sound made it feel like I was being cooked on a huge frying pan, making a sizzling noise. I couldn't help feeling remorseful. Now I knew that sneaking into the ritual storehouse wasn't a laughing matter. But I really didn't know it at the time. Sure, the door was locked, so they didn't want anyone to go in. Then why did they change the lock? What did they say? I think it was that Rikachama said that the previous lock was too heavy for her, so she had it changed to that cheap one. That was how Takano-san broke in. If the heavy lock was still there, this wouldn't have happened. I slapped my own forehead. Then I took a deep breath. I had to calm down. What was the point of fussing now? I'd already passed the point of no return. There was no use thinking otherwise. The hag was already dead. Even if she wasn't, she was now at the bottom of the well. Therefore, it was already past the point where I could just cut my fingers off in apology. It felt so unstable. I'd walked on the fence around the swings at the park before, as if I was walking on a tightrope. It was fun because even if I fell, it was only a very short distance. But it wouldn't have been fun if I were up really high. At that very moment, I was in fact already on a tightrope that was a lot higher than the fence of the park. As soon as I took a step, the rope behind me would vanish. I couldn't step back because there was nothing behind me. That was, in short, the current situation I found myself in. Just standing in one spot was all I could do. Even if I never took another step, I'd fall if I wasn't careful. If I forced myself to walk, the danger would only increase. But if I didn't move, I would fall eventually. I couldn't see what was ahead of me. There was no guarantee that I'd ever find firm ground. So, Mochi, remember the fishing scandal I mentioned? The guys with the lead weights? No, I actually have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, I do know what you're talking about because I watched that on Critical, but I don't think I ever remember you bringing that up. But yeah, he cheated. The guy cheated by, like, the contest was like who could get the heaviest fish, and he basically just put some lead weights into a fish. Fokies was like here like 2 streams ago when I brought it up. Well, I don't remember, but I know what you're talking about. There's a guy who cheated by putting lead weights into the fish. I know that because Critical covered it. But what about it? But if I stopped, there was only one fate awaiting for me. I have to move onward. They're being charged 1 count of cheating, felony of the 5th degree, 1 count of attempted grand theft. Grand theft? Wait. Felony of the 5th degree, 1 count of possessing criminal tools, felony of the 5th degree, 1 count of unlawful ownership of wild animals, misdemeanor of the 4th degree. I don't know how they got all those charges based on cheating by putting lead weights in a fish. If staying here guaranteed death, then I'd try to walk, even if I die as a result. Prize was a couple $1,000s. Yeah, I know that. The guy was scamming money for like eons. Like, yeah, he definitely deserves jail time. So it counts as grand theft? Ah, I see. Yeah, it sounds deserved. Even if there was a dead end ahead of me, at least I tried my hardest. In general, I try to be optimistic. I could accept my life not lasting particularly long, but I wouldn't go easily. I'd struggle as much as possible. I'd already killed the hag. For that, there could be no other punishment than death. I knew my life would end soon. In other words, I was actually already dead.
死人がなおもあがこうとしたら、そりゃ特攻あるのみでしょ。
I clenched my fist tightly as I muttered. Even if I had to die, I couldn't die easily. This was my chance to avenge Satoshi-kun. Who did it? What purpose? And why? I was going to investigate. I was going to question. I was going to expose. Yes, I was going to settle the score. Get it, Shion! Get it! I'd carry out the plan I came up with yesterday. I could hide the hag's death somehow. All I'd have to say is that she hadn't been feeling well since Watanagashi. I could do it all while pretending to be Mion. Just in case her friends at school became suspicious, maybe I'd start telling them I hadn't been feeling well either. In fact, I did feel groggy from my lack of sleep. When I became Mion, Shion would automatically disappear. I already told Kasai that I snuck into the shrine storage, so he'd probably end up telling people that I was demoned away, due to the curse of Oyashiro-sama. The last person I'd have to think about was the 4th one who snuck into the ritual storehouse, Keiichi Maibara. Maybe I can use him as bait to lure out the enemy. Sorry, Kei-chan. You're going to be my bait. I felt a little bad since I was starting to like him. With all that figured out, let's go to school. I'd gone to school as Mion before, so I knew how things worked. It was almost time to leave the house. What's up?
遅い遅い待っててくれたわけ？ 先に行っちゃってもよかったのに。
Wait! I think I remember this scene.
あれ、ミオン。お前、顔が赤くないか？息も妙に荒いし。
So maybe this was all what happened in chapter 2. Okay. But from Shion's
みー
perspective.
ちゃん、ひょっとして具合悪くない？
Reina put her hand on my forehead.
レナの手、冷たいな。
みーちゃん、ちょっとだけど熱あるよ。
そんな大したことないよ。半日もすればケロッと治っちゃうって。
Yeah, something like that. I trust her. That's just your catchphrase at this point, Golden.
本当に大丈夫かよ。あんまり無理するなよ。
あれ、ケイちゃん、気遣ってくれるの？
Just for Higurashi.
嬉しいな。
I'd always thought he was a goofball, so I was a little surprised. I thought they would tease me, but they didn't.
無理しない方がいいと思うな。先生にはお休みだって伝えとくよ。
大丈夫、大丈夫。風邪薬も飲んだし。すぐに効いてくると思うから。
じゃあ行こうか。くれぐれも無理するなよ。って言いながら。時間！
走らないと、間に合わない。
Give a head pat, not to me, of course. A head pat who?
スリリングな朝になっちゃったね。鈍った体にはちょうどいいカツかもね。走ろ。
I mean, I guess I could head pat Shion.
それでは委員長、号令。
Pat.
起立。
Not she. Oh, well, who do you want me to head pat?
気をつけ。
You have to tell me who. Or Reina. I don't know what you want from me. I'd made the same mistake before. I never learned, do I?
みーちゃん、本当に大丈夫かな？
Keiichi seems like a viable. I am not touching Keiichi. Golden, you could give me like freaking 50 subs and I still would not pat Keiichi. No, I hate that kid.
今日は具合悪そう。
Head pat. No, I'm not doing it. No, that was a joke, Golden.
あら、そうなんですの。
Besides, it'd be a waste of money. Joke? What is that? I don't know. Besides, it'd be a waste of money because, as I said, I'm not gonna head pat Keiichi for that anyway.
それはよくありませんわね。
It was a good idea to make them believe I was sick. Even if I did things differently from me on, I had an excuse.
まあ、あれだ。
So 51 subs. No. You can't pay me to pat him. There you go. No amount of money will make me pat Keiichi.
女の子には体調が悪くなる日もあるってことだな。
にはそんな日はないのですよ。
The
みぱー。
Mion's friends kept. Shit. Why did I go with the. Mion's friends kept each other preoccupied and left me alone. Keiichi Maibara. He might suddenly disappear one day. I couldn't let that happen. That would be like letting a fish take the bait and swim away while I was fast asleep and with a fishing pole in my hands. I couldn't miss the moment the enemy took a bite out of Keiichi. I had to be very careful. But it was impossible to keep my eyes on him 24 hours a day. Spying on him at school like this wasn't good enough. Should I have him meet with Shion and let her explain that he's in danger? Maybe we could set up a strategy together. I didn't think Keiichi realized how serious a crime it was to step into the ritual storehouse. I hadn't, after all. Since last year, all the incidents that related to the curse had probably been investigated in secret. People involved with the 3 families would know about the incident from last night, but Keiichi shouldn't know anything. If he knew where he stood now, he'd be more cautious. That should make him aware of his surroundings, and maybe he would notice if anything odd took place. The teacher caught him sleeping, so she ordered him to go wash his face. He walked out into the hallway. Okay, so yeah. Everything that has happened so far has happened in Chapter 2. We're basically following the events of Chapter 2. Because I remember all of this. I don't know what's gonna happen. Is it gonna end as badly as Chapter 2 did, too? Because it looks like it's just the same thing, but from Shion's perspective. I've not noticed any differences. I was sleepy too. I had to be alert, but I couldn't clear my mind due to my lack of sleep. I decided to go home early. Since I'd been pretending to be sick since morning, my request was approved. As I exited the building, I saw Keiichi washing his face.
やっぱケイちゃんはこっちの流しを選んだか。表の方が気分いいもんね。
あ、ミオンか。授業、サボるなよな。
It looked like it felt refreshing for him to wash his face with cold water. I washed my face too. But it didn't feel as good as it looked.
ミオン、風邪の方はいいのかよ。眠いのは寝不足じゃなくて、風邪薬の副作用なんだろ？
あはは、実は内緒なんだけど、昨日はお祭りの後で親族の宴会に巻き込まれちゃってさ。それで、エンドレスに。
Gulp. I thought about sounding it out, but I just went with gulp. I pretended to drink it with an invisible glass.
徹夜明けかよ！心配して損した。
Not old enough. Keiichi exaggerated his reaction, but he still seemed worried.
じゃあな、俺は教室に戻るぜ。帰りは気をつけろよ。ふらふらして、側溝や用水路に落ちるなよ。
Keiichi turned around to go back to the classroom.
あ、そうそう、ケイちゃん。
I stopped Keiichi. He, in response, turned around.
なんだ？
変なことを聞くけど、深く考えないで答えてね。
そりゃ内容によりけりだな。
Oh yeah, this is when So this is a pretty neat twist. So I had assumed that this was Mion questioning him about the storehouse, but no, it was Shion. Okay. And that explains why she was acting weird the whole day, is because it was actually Shion. Okay, interesting.
昨日の綿流しの晩さ、富武さんと高野さんに会わなかった？
I noticed Keiichi's body tense up. His reaction proved that he felt guilty about sneaking into the ritual storehouse. He was frightened that Mion Sonozaki might know about it. I guess this was enough to give him a certain impression of Mion Sonozaki.
富武さんと高野さんはわかるよね。ほら、ケイちゃん、お祭りの前日準備の時、シオンと一緒に4人でお話ししてたでしょ？
Stuff it, Mochi. That's kind of rude, don't you think? Get me food. I'm not your butler. You can get up from your chair and get your own food, Golden. I could clearly see how dismayed Keiichi felt. What if I pay you? I'm nowhere near you, so even if I wanted to get you food, I couldn't. He was trying to come up with an excuse.
さあ、どうかな。
What if we... Alright, Golden. That's... Let's not be sus. Alright? Let's not go into sus territory now.
会ったような、会わなかったような。
Wear a nice suit. He was both a bad liar and a bad actor. He wasn't really that intelligent at all. Damn. I mean, she's not wrong. She's not wrong. Keiichi is stupid. But, damn. Well, that would make him a suitable friend from Mion. He was just a brat, unlike Satoshi-kun. Although, when it came to lying and acting, Satoshi-kun was at about the same level. Maybe Keiichi should be credited for at least trying to tell a lie. Satoshi-kun wouldn't have even said a thing. I didn't need to be thinking about him right now.
そう。じゃあもう一つ質問ね。同じく昨べ、シオンに会わなかった？
Oof. This was a very mean question. Keiichi was perplexed as I expected.
それ、昨日も聞いたよな。俺、会ったかどうかわからないって答えたと思ったぜ。
What is that, the praise helix? Oh wow, that emote actually is based on that meme. Yeah. Eh? I'd asked him that yesterday? He must have meant that Mion Sonozaki asked him that question. Praise Lord, some helix. I mean helix. In other words, she asked him that after he left the storehouse and got back together with his friends. Damn you, Mion. Damn you, Mion. I'm just picturing Shion making the Dinkelberg face. But replacing that with freaking Shion. Shion freaking Dinkelberg. When I asked her, she said she had no idea. When I asked her, she said she'd had no idea we went into the ritual storehouse. Shit.
そうだっけ？また改めて聞いたら違う答えが返ってくるかなって思ってさ。
どうして会ったかどうかをそんなに気にするんだよ。
He was getting defensive. Keiichi couldn't hide his panic as he flared up at me.
大したことじゃないの。富武さんと高野さんと、シオンとケイちゃんをね。悪く言ってる人たちがいるの。何が悪いんだかはよく聞いてないんだけどね。
Keiichi was really perplexed now. This wasn't fun at all, but it could still be an interesting game.
私、ケイちゃんが悪いことをするなんて信じてないから。でも、ちょっとだけ聞いてみたかったから聞いてみたの。不愉快な思いをさせてごめんね。
I made sure Keiichi felt a sense of crisis, then left. I made sure to make him... Oh, nobody can tell us apart. We're Mion and Shion. Perfect twins. That's a good place to put that quote, actually. Because the twist that you thought that this was Mion during this segment, but it was actually Shion. Well-placed quote. What was I saying? I don't remember. When I returned to the Sonozaki house, I saw a woman with an apron on. It was a housekeeper. Her name was Shimiko-san. The hag had a few housekeepers who took care of the chores around the house.
ミオンちゃん、本当によかった。困ってたんですよ。
ありゃ、シミコさん。何かご用で？
Today was her turn to come help out at the house. She'd arrived, but the gate was locked and she couldn't get in. She'd called, but there was no answer, so she had just been standing there, not knowing what to do.
バッチャですね。綿流しの祭りで面白くないことがあったみたいで、昨べからすごく機嫌が悪いんです。
ああ、そうですか。
Shimiko-san tried to remember if she had done something wrong.
別に無視してるんじゃなくて、寝込んでるだけなんです。昨べ、だいぶ遅くまでカリカリしてたから、多分まだ起きられないんじゃないでしょうか。知ってるでしょ？一度機嫌を損ねたバッチャが、どれだけの期間機嫌が悪いかを。
そうですね。困りましたね。
しばらく顔を見せない方がいいと思います。シミコさんに悪気がなくても、バッチャは何かと咎めてくるに違いありませんから。こういう時は私に任せといてください。
そうですか？それは助かりますけど。
シミコさん、申し訳ないんですけど、他のお手伝いさんにもしばらく来なくていいと伝えてもらっていいですか？バッチャの機嫌が治ったらこっそり電話しますから。しばらくそっとしてあげてください。
Shimiko-san bowed, then left on her bicycle. Anyone who had ever experienced Granny's wrath would understand. I headed into Mion's room, set her alarm clock for 2 p.m., and crawled into her bed. So the question is, we know by this point that Mion eventually escapes, and I guess pulls an Uno reverse on Shion and puts her in the cell. So I'm wondering how she does escape is the question. I needed to recover quickly. I had to be sharp, calm, and cool-headed. School should be out by 2 p.m. Maybe I'd get in touch with Keiichi. I'd have to call him. There would also be a staff meeting at the Furaday Shrine Assembly Hall in the evening. All the leaders of the 3 families, their relatives, and the town council members would gather at this meeting. They were all authority figures in Hinamizawa. I'd be attending in place of the hag, who was sick. I'd worry about the rest when I got there. People should notice that me and the hag were missing for a long time. I didn't need to worry, as I had plenty of time. I checked the alarm once more, then fell asleep as if someone switched me off. Okay.
もしもし。
園崎の妹の方です。こんにちは。今はお時間大丈夫ですか？
シオンか。ミオンと同じで、今日は寝不足で寝込んでるんじゃないかと思ったぜ。
え？ひょっとしてお姉、早退ですか？お姉らしい。
Keiji had no idea that the Miyane he saw earlier was actually me. He didn't notice when we talked in person, so there's no way he would notice on the phone. I never knew that playing two roles would be so much fun. To feel such enjoyment in this game of life or death, maybe I was getting used to this situation. Or maybe my senses had gone numb.
ごめんな。ちょっと親が電話待ちをしてるんで、そんなに長話はできないんだ。何の用だ？
お話ししたいことがあったんですけど、長電話が無理じゃ仕方ないですね。
じゃあさ、会って話をしないか。ついでに図書館にも案内してもらえるとありがたい。
図書館って、駅前の私立図書館ですか？別にいいですよ。バイトのついでってことで。
We decided to meet in Okinomiya. It wasn't easy to get there from Hinamizawa, but I had to hurry. I couldn't run into Keiichi as he was heading there himself. I recalled that the key to the hag's motorcycle was in her secret drawer. The hag usually got driven around for public events, but when she had her own errands, she rode her motorcycle. Keiichi, I assumed, was going to ride his bicycle. I'd try to get to Okinomiya before he did. Keiichi arrived quite a bit later than me. Motorcycles are faster, after all. There were hardly any traffic lights to worry about on the way here either.
ミオンと違って、シオンは待ち合わせ時間を守るな。しみじみ。
お姉を標準にされると、いろいろと困ります。
ん？少しフラフラしてないか？お前も昨べは寝不足だろ？隠しても無駄だぞ。で、学校を早退したに違いない。
残念でした。私はそもそも今日はずる休みしてますので。私、お姉より要領いいですから。
おいおい。学校をずる休みするのを要領いいとは言わないと思うぞ。
I mean...
じゃあ、先に用事を片付けます？時間もそんなにないですから。図書館へ行くんですよね。
ああ、頼むよ。おふくろの借りてる本の返却期限が今日までらしいんで。図書館は遠いのか？
すぐ近くですよ。
There is a dog on my lap. I am trapped. I mean, at least it's not a cat. Because if it was a cat, you would really be trapped. At least you can, like, kind of convince a dog to move. When it's a cat, though, yeah, it's not happening. I meant it when I said we didn't have much time. And we got up and moved against my body, curled up. Aww. I had to hurry a little. I was just going to talk to him on the phone, but I ended up coming all the way to Okinomiya. After our talk, Keiichi would slowly head back to Hinamizawa on his bicycle. I I'd have to rush back there while making sure I didn't run into him. Otherwise, I couldn't make it on time for the meeting. Maybe I could be a little late, but since I needed to hear everything they were going to discuss, I didn't want to be. This was the Shishibon Public Library. It was sizable, filled with a collection of moldy, smelly books. But they did have air conditioning, and it was quiet. It was the perfect place for when you wanted to be alone. After Satoshi-kun disappeared last year, I came here a lot to think about various things. This was where I first met Takano-san. I didn't want to run into her with Keiichi in tow, but then I remembered that she was already dead. The first floor of the building was occupied by government offices. The library itself was on the second floor, so we had to walk up a huge staircase to get there. I tasted cool air on my skin as soon as I walked through the automated door. Unlike outside, it was very quiet in here. The room temperature was both comfortable and suitable for books. I could smell the scent of old pages.
どこの図書館も似たようなもんだな。
Keiichi walked up to the return table after he said so. Because it was a weekday, there was hardly anyone around. It really was very quiet. I was going to chat about some ordinary things, and then move on to the main subject. After Keiichi returned the books, I invited him into the inner section of the library. Keiichi knew Mion well, but he didn't know me at all. He showed an interest. Oh, I missed a message. Sorry, go on. So now he's on my lap, curled against my lower body. Aw. He showed an interest in our life story. This was exactly where Takano-san had told me about the true history of Hinamizawa a year ago. I was about to tell Keiichi about the things that were very similar to that. Did God have a sense of irony?
言われてみれば。例のおもちゃ屋も親類の人が経営してるみたいだったな。そういえば、エンジェルモートも親類の人が経営してるんじゃないのか？
I told him the reason why the Sonozaki family was so powerful in this area. I assumed that since Keiichi came from the city, there was a good chance he couldn't even begin to understand how one old family could literally control an entire area. Unless I explained to him how powerful the Sonozaki family was, he wouldn't understand what kind of danger he was barreling toward him.
特に金融、不動産関係は強いですね。あと、商工会議所の役員も何割かは、園崎姓かその親類がついてます。沖宮一帯を評伝に、市議会議員と県議会議員にも園崎がいますし。
ちょっと待て。なんだかすごい話になってきたぞ。沖宮の町中に親類が経営する店があって、特に金融、不動産に強い？しかもその上、商工会議所の役員の何割かが親類で、しかも地元選出の議員までいて。
Keiichi counted with his fingers. He was clearly surprised to hear all about the Sonozaki family. It seemed that he was flexible enough to accept even something that sounded outrageous to him. He was starting to understand things, although slowly. The way he viewed Shion Sonozaki was changing little by little as well. That should be enough background information. Now I could go on to explain about Mion Sonozaki, the successor. Then I'd change the subject like Takano-san did with me. I'd go on to talk about the curse of Oyashiro-sama, and then the series of mysterious deaths.
ひょっとして、園崎家って、この辺り一帯じゃ、すごいんじゃ。
ねえ、
What's up, Oishi?
すごいんです。
Sure do be. Damn! Shion! The fat man with a cigarette suddenly cut into our conversation. Oishi? Why was he here?
どうも。こんにちは。今日はデートですかな？
That...
羨ましいですね。
そうだと思ったら邪魔しないでほしかったですね。おいさん。
What timing? It couldn't be coincidence. I knew this man too well. He was crafty, sly, and clever. His presence here just can't be a coincidence. Did he see us somewhere in town and follow us? But why? Did he need something from me, Keiichi, or perhaps the both of us? From what I could guess, I didn't think it was me that he wanted something from. It was almost like he was trying to keep Keiichi away from me. I wish he was aware I gave false testimony to protect Satoshi-kun last year. Maybe he didn't think he could talk to Keiichi if I was around. Why did Oishi need to talk to Keiichi? Must be about the incident from yesterday. I'm sure there were plenty of plainclothes officers at the festival, so they had to have seen who was the last with the victims. In other words, Keiichi and me. But Oishi knew I was hard to deal with. That was why he was focusing on Keiichi at present. Why did he have to show up at a time like this?
前原さんでしたよね。あなたもタフな人ですね。園崎姉妹を二股かけるなんて。
いや、そんな、二股だなんて。
I don't even remember if he made that joke last time. Keiichi looked at me, hoping for assistance. He blushed. The way he panicked reminded me of Satoshi-kun. That aside, this wasn't going well. Wish he might even start talking about my relationship with Satoshi-kun. I didn't want him to, nor did I want Keiichi to have any preconceptions. Wish he took a quick glance at me. His eyes told me something. He was purposely talking about the things I'd rather not talk about. He was basically telling me to leave or he'd continue on to something that was worse than what they were currently talking about. Two-timing Keiichi. He's a two-timing varmint, buddy. I'll tell you what. He didn't use the words, but his eyes clearly communicated that anyway. Damn, that big fat weasel. It's just mean, Shion.
あ、ごめんなさい、ケイちゃん。私もうバイトの時間なんです。
あ、そうなのか？
I realized that I wouldn't achieve anything like this, even if I stayed longer, so I used my part-time job as an excuse to leave. When she looked at me and grinned. Damn it. He won today, but I'll win next time.
そういえば、今日はシオン、何か話があるんじゃなかったのか？なんなら。
うん、また今度。あ、バイトが終わったら電話します。夜なら電話大丈夫ですよね？
ああ。大丈夫だと思う。
じゃあ、今夜電話しますので、その時に。じゃあ。
Interesting. I feel like soon we're coming to the point where Mion breaks out. I think. I don't know, I could be entirely wrong. The hag's motorcycle had become my primary means of transportation. My next stop was the staff meeting at the Faraday Shrine's assembly hall. It was easy to imagine how a normal meeting would play out if it were just celebrating the end of Watanagashi. But today's staff meeting was likely going to be as strained as the Sonozaki family councils. Yes, this staff meeting was going to deal with the heart of Hinamizawa. I couldn't let my guard down, even for a moment. I rested for a while at the house, then left for the meeting. I walked up the long stairs to the Faraday Shrine. At the top, I saw some elderly men smoking in front of the hall. Since they had a minor fire a long time ago, it had been made into a non-smoking area.
あれ、ミオンちゃんかい。
The head of the Kimiyoshi family, Uncle Kimiyoshi, noticed me and waved. He must not have expected Mion to come alone. Normally, it would have been either the hag by herself or Mion tagging along as an assistant.
バッチャは夕べのあれ以来機嫌を相当悪くしちゃいまして。誰も近づけず布団にこもりきりです。
They all understood how troublesome she was when she was in a bad mood. I smiled bitterly in sympathy.
じゃあ今日はミオンちゃんが園崎家当主代行ということでいいね。お嬢さんから話とか聞いてる？
一応。
What did he mean? Has Oryu-san told you anything? That line by itself didn't really explain much. The staff meeting was usually led by the mayor, the head of the Kimiyoshi family. And he'd asked me, as the substitute for the Sonozaki family head, if I'd heard anything from her. I then realized who was supposed to lead today's staff meeting.
おじ、じゃなくて、君吉さん。今日の会合だけど、司会、私じゃないと。
According to the ranking order at the family councils, any substitute for the Sonozaki family head is above the Kimiyoshi family head. In other words, I'd have to lead today's meeting. There was no way I could do that.
大丈夫大丈夫。おじいちゃんがやるから。ミオンちゃんは座ってればいいよ。お嬢さんから聞いてる話があったら話してくれればいいからね。
村長、そろそろ始めますかいね。全員揃いましたね。
Smokers put out their cigarettes and went back into the hall. The tables were set in a horseshoe shape, and I was told to sit next to the chair reserved for the chief. The seat opposite mine was empty. Considering its location, it was probably for the Faraday family head, Rika Faraday. But somebody had said earlier that everybody was already here. Either Rika-chama had called in absent, or the empty seat was just a formality. Knowing the subject of this meeting, I don't think the Faraday family head would even want to attend. Even if Rika-chama actually attended, she wouldn't be able to say anything. All she'd usually do at the Sonozaki family councils was draw pictures on a notepad. She would probably end up drawing pictures in this meeting too. Besides, they probably didn't want her to hear anything unpleasant. In this way, the empty Faraday family seat was easily explained. When everyone was seated, the head of the Women's Association served tea. She gave me an evil look, trying to tell me to help out. I got up and did so. After that, everyone fell quiet and the secretary stood up.
それでは皆さん、本日は大変お忙しい中、緊急にお集まりいただきまして、誠にお疲れ様です。それでははじめに、村長さんからご挨拶をいただきます。村長、どうぞ。
座ったままで失礼します。ケンちゃんも座ったままでいいよ。今日は平日の夕方にお集まりいただきまして誠にありがとうございました。また昨日は綿流しを本当にお疲れ様でございました。おかげさまで本年も事故もなく大変な盛況のうちに終了させることができました。祭りにも村中から大勢がいらっしゃり、本当に素晴らしい祭りになったものと思うとります。来たの何人だっけ？大本営発表だと5000人だそうです。
5? Jesus Christ. What? Everyone laughed except me.
今後もますますの文化の向上のために一丸となって頑張ってまいりたいと思います。よろしくお願いいたします。
Clap, clap, clap. An applause with only 8 people doesn't sound so great.
それでは引き続き議事の方に入ってまいりたいと思います。本日の議事を君吉村長さんにお願いしようと思います。承認していただける方は拍手でご承認願います。
Clap, clap, clap.
ありがとうございます。それではただいま万座でのご承認をいただきましたんで、君吉村長さんに司会を譲りたいと思います。よろしくお願いします。
どうもケンちゃんお疲れ様。では司会を引き継ぎましたので、本日の議事に入りたいと思います。申し訳ない。カーテン閉めましょうかね。
Everyone closed the curtains nearest to them. The sun was still up, but with all the curtains closed, the room became very dark. The village chief explained the details of the incident, as well as what went on with the police. A police vehicle discovered Tomitake-san's body on its way back to Okinomiya last night. Oishi's special curse unit was standing by, expecting something to happen for the 5th time, so they responded quickly. Since Tomitake-san and Takano-san were rarely apart, Oishi got in touch with the neighboring prefectural police departments and asked them to look for her. As a result, they found a burned body of a woman in the mountains of the Gifu prefecture, and the body was then identified as Mio Takano. Considering the circumstances, the police ended up labeling the incident as the 5th of the ongoing series of mysterious deaths. When he finished, there was dead silence. I watched to see who would speak first. Nobody said a thing. Then, I noticed Kimiyoshi-san looking at me. This was where the head of the Sonozaki family would speak.
みおんちゃん、お嬢さんは何か言ってたかい？
Everyone looked in my direction. I was sure they could see the hag in me.
園崎家当主代行、園崎みおんです。本日は当主お寮に代わりまして、出席させていただきました。よろしくお願いいたします。
I became Mion. I tried to become as cold and unfeeling as the Mion I witnessed a year ago. That cold version of Mion was inside of me. That was me. I was her.
不幸にして、お社様のお怒りは5年目にも下されることになりました。大変悲しいことです。
Everyone was held captive by my words. I wasn't a little girl anymore. The hag was speaking through my mouth. They all heard me and trembled in fear.
どうして今年もたたりがあったか、わかる方はいますか？
After my question, everyone whispered to each other.
そう。西宮殿の金を犯し、土足で聖域を踏み荒らして汚れを持ち込んだからです。
何いうことだ。
A few elderly men got up and yelled.
アホンタレが。信じられん小僧どもだ。
腹渡引き裂いても飽きたりん学徒じゃん。
Bro, chill. What?
お社様、お怒りをお鎮めください。
なんてこと、なんてこと。お社様、お社様。
これだからよそ者すっかん。なんも考えんねえ。ガクガクもないんよ。さらんと。
あれすってらんこったになるね。バチ当たりどもんが。
The angry old men yelled, even as they trembled in fear. The sudden change scared me more than a little. Even Uncle Kimiyoshi, who was usually so gentle and sweet, became like a demon of war, cursing those who broke the rule of the ritual storehouse. It had become like a raging ocean inside the assembly hall. The yells spun about like a whirlpool. They roared, crashed, and howled. Even while doing nothing but watch, I could feel myself turning pale. Mion threatened me yesterday, and Kasai had been shocked this morning. What I saw before me was similar to that. Even the sweet and gentle Uncle Kimiyoshi was saying they deserved to die. Good lord, dude. What the fuck? What the hell? I was fearful of the sudden change in those elderly men. More than anything, the fact that they all believed that those people deserved to die for trespassing is what terrified me. It wasn't just that, of course. The real thing I was scared of was that I was one of the people they wanted dead. In other words, it was almost like they were telling me to die of the curse. If they were to find out I snuck into the ritual storehouse, it was very possible that they would strangle me on the spot. Actually, they might not kill me that easily. By then, I was certain. The people in this room were true believers in Oyashiro-sama, just like the hag. They wouldn't hesitate to murder whoever made Oyashiro-sama angry on his behalf. Even if they didn't carry out the killing themselves, they would pretend they didn't see anything. Yes, not even if my head was cut off right in front of them. Everyone here would act in collusion and say I never attended today. If they all testified that they waited and I didn't show, I'd be demoned away. It would be far too easy for them to erase someone and have them disappear. It was no mistake. The people linking the hag and the curse were definitely here at this meeting. I continued speaking. I was Mion Sonozaki. I was on the side responsible for the curse. Therefore, at that moment, I didn't need to worry about anything. Nobody could tell the difference between Mion and me. That's what would keep me safe.
お静かにお願いします。
おら、静かに静かに。
Uncle Kimiyoshi helped me to quiet everyone, but his tone was violent. He really scared me. Everyone gradually became silent.
西宮殿に忍び込んだ賊は4人。あと2人います。
People once more became restless upon hearing that, but Uncle Kimiyoshi yelled at them again and they settled down.
富武さんと高野さんは分別のつくお年だったはずですからね。 お社様のたたりが直ちに下りましたが、もう2人は子供です。まだたたりは免れていますが、何のけじめもなく許されることはありません。
Everyone stayed quiet that time. They had all turned genuinely pale, trying not to miss a word I said. After all, they were all thinking that the kids I mentioned could be their own relatives, or even grandchildren. They wanted to know who they were, to put their minds at ease.
その2人の老石者は、園崎紫音、そして前原圭一。
I could feel the air getting drier. It was so dry it almost felt like it was going to start making a crackling noise.
園崎紫音は、すでに
Couldn't even hear the old people breathe. I took a peek at Uncle Kimiyoshi, who was sitting next to me. He'd adored Shion as if she were his own granddaughter, but she had been demoned away. I wanted to see how distressed and sad he'd look. And when I saw his face, I felt a sensation on my back, as if my skin itself was making a crackling noise. He didn't even have an expression on his face. Uncle Kimiyoshi adored me. I loved him, and I thought he loved me too. That was why I expected him to be saddened after learning that I met with such a cruel fate. What was I thinking? The memory of his warm smile shattered inside of me. There was no way of describing the fear I experienced in that exact moment. In mere words. He had suddenly changed into someone I didn't even recognize. Uncle Kimiyoshi noticed me looking at him and spoke.
もう一人の前原圭一は
まだです。
I had to take a deep breath to regain my composure.
西宮殿を犯した4人、すべてにお社様はたたりを下されるでしょう。前原圭一も例外ではありませんよ。
Chilling looks, cruel looks, emotionless looks, shrewd looks, and the looks of people who were about to snap. I could feel the demons chewing my words while they stared at me with their sharp eyes. I could see some of them sticking their snake-like tongues in and out. I could see flames in some of their eyes. They were memorizing the names of the intruder that curse had yet to fall upon. And so, the meeting went on. We were told not to tell the police too much, to report what they asked us, and to hold another meeting whenever something of significance happened. If something unexpected took place, we were to get in touch with either the head of the Kimiyoshi family or the head of the Sonozaki family and for instructions on what to do. With those closing remarks, the meeting was over. It was already getting dark outside. Being in an alley surrounded by mountains, once the sun went down in Hinamizawa, it got dark quickly. Even if it was hot during the day, it cooled down quickly at night. The elderly people said goodbye to each other and left on their bicycles, on their motorcycles, or in their cars. Uncle Kimiyoshi waved them goodbye and started to head home himself. I called out to him.
君吉さん、この後ご予定はありますか？
I called him Kimiyoshi-san and san instead of Uncle Kimiyoshi. He stopped.
いや、何もないよ。
うちへ寄ってもらえませんか？
お嬢さんが呼んでるのかい？
はい。直接会って話したいことがあるんだとか。
じゃあ、やるかな。
Uncle Kimiyoshi arrived at the Sonozaki house. He often came to the house to have secret meetings with the hag, so he wasn't suspicious at all. I invited Uncle Kimiyoshi into the living room. I served him a cup of tea and told him I was going to fetch the hag. I left the room and killed some time down the hallway.
ばっちゃ、着替えたから来るそうです。ちょっと時間かかるかもです。
いやいや。ゆっくり待ってるから。
Uncle Kimiyoshi relaxed as he sipped his cup of tea. I sat next to him.
多分、シオンの話じゃないかなと思います。
I mentioned my name and watched for his reaction. Uncle Kimiyoshi looked so grim. I couldn't even tell if he had heard me. I decided to continue speaking until he reacted in some way.
シオンは去年がありますからね。北条家の人間なんかと懇意になるなんて。
去年は、爪を剥いで許してもらったんだったね。
ええ。3枚剥いで。
Uncle Kimiyoshi folded his arms and thought for a while.
シオンちゃんは今は
地下にいます。
様子はどうなんだい？
Uncle Kimiyoshi sounded worried. When I heard that, I felt relieved that Uncle Kimiyoshi was on my side. His anger in the assembly hall was just an act.
ずっと泣いていますよ。
ミオンちゃん、率直なところ、おりょうさんはシオンちゃんのことをどうするって言ってるんだ？
具体的なことは聞いてません。ご存知と思いますけど、バッチャは怒りが度を超えると逆に無口になりますからね。
西宮殿に入ったんだもんな。しかも自分とこの身内がな。そりゃそうだろうな。
Uncle Kimiyoshi thought that the hag must be unsure of what to do with Shion.
おじいちゃんは、シオンの処遇、どうなると思います？
そりゃ、爪3枚よりもっとむごいことになるだろうな。おりょうさんのことだから、身内に甘くするってことはないと思う。むしろ身内だからこそ厳しく当たるだろうからな。
何しろ西宮殿に入ったんですものね。それは許されないことでしょうね。
さすがにな。西宮殿はな。
でもシオンもかわいそうかもしれません。だってずっとひなみ沢から遠ざけられてきたんです。西宮殿の不可侵性は知ってはいたでしょうが、そこまでいけないことだという認識は多分なかったんでしょうから。
確かにシオンちゃんは不憫だよな。
あたしかシオンか。背中の入れ墨を見る以外に、私たちをどんな方法で区別できるというのですか？何もない。 ミオンとシオンなんて区別自体が何の意味もないのに。
Twins are proof of bad luck. One should be eliminated as soon as they are born. Such is the family precept. The hag actually put her hands around my neck right after I came out of the womb. That's how the story went, at least. In the end, the hag didn't kill me, but instead pretended I didn't exist. She forced herself to call one of us Mion and the other Shion. She adored Mion and hated Shion. My sister and I never understood why we had to go through that. We didn't care who was Mion or who was Shion. So one day, we came up with an idea. We decided to share the joy Mion experienced and the sadness Shion experienced. We often switched places. We were both Mion, and at the same time, we were both Shion. Adults around us tried to put different clothes on us or style our hair differently so they could tell us apart. It was nonsense. No matter what they did to us, all we had to do was switch places and nobody could tell us apart. Finally, they decided that we switched places because we were always together. On that day, Shion got to go to an amusement park. Since then, we've been separated.
ミオンちゃん。
私には、シオンがどういう将軍になるか想像もつきません。そして、どんなことに決まっても、意見できる立場にありません。バッチャは、身内であれば、むしろ意見を聞かない人ですし。
そうだな。お嬢さんの悪いところだよ。
シオンは、園崎シオンでなければ、とっくに殺されていたことでしょう。死に準ずる罰が、果たしてどのようなものか、私には想像もつきません。殺されなかったにしたって、多分、一生日の光を見ることはできないでしょう。つまりは、鬼隠しということかと。
ミオンちゃん、シオンちゃんは反省してるんだろ？
ええ。
In response, Uncle Kimiyoshi tapped my soldier. Wow. I don't even think Soldier's here today. I don't know why. Tapped my shoulder and then slapped his own chest. He smiled reliably.
大丈夫。
Mocher, that is me.
シオンちゃんがちゃんと反省してるなら、鬼隠しなんかなるもんか。
Did you see the new trailer? It's kind of broad. You're gonna have to tell me what new trailer for what.
君吉のおじいちゃんに任せなさい。
本当に大丈夫なんですか？
Porkmen? AKA Pokemon. Are you talking about the one with Giraffurig's evolution and the Subway sandwiches?
そりゃあお嬢さんは私に意見されたら怒りはするだろうけどさ。でもおじいちゃんは引かないよ。
Man, this is even more sad knowing that Kimiyoshi disappears after this.
シオンちゃんがしっかり反省してるんだから、許してあげてほしいってちゃんと頼んでみせるから。
No, the one with the new gym leader? Did it release today? Because if it released today, then I definitely didn't see it. Tears began to fall from my eyes. I knew it. Uncle Kimiyoshi was my ally after all. It was today. That's fast, considering the last trailer they released was like literally last week. I'll have to check it out though. He said he would forgive Shion. He was my ally. I was so very happy.
本当に、去年の北条聡くんみたいに鬼隠しになっちゃったりしないでしょうか。
Uncle Kimiyoshi smiled reliably again and told me.
罰当たりの北条家の坊主ならいざ知れず、園崎家のしおんちゃんならきっと許してもらえるって。
Damn. Damn. Huh?
北条家の坊主って、聡くんのことですか？去年の犠牲者の。
北条の連中は仕方ないさ。村を丸ごと売ろうとした売国と同然の奴らだ。そういう奴らなら鬼隠しだってあり得るだろうけど、そりゃあ北条家だからの話だよ。
Wow, fuck this guy. What the hell? Huh? Huh? Huh?
北条家の連中は一族老頭みんな呪われて当然だ。鬼隠しに会うのはそういう連中なんだから。
I feel like this is like racist in a way. or I guess clanist, I guess would be the term. Familyist? I don't know.
だからしおんちゃんは大丈夫。大丈夫なんだよ。
おじいちゃん。でも、サトシくんは去年、シオンがけじめをつけたから、見逃してもらえることになったんじゃないの？
けじめ？なんの？
ほら、爪を3枚剥いだじゃないですか。笠井さん、吉郎おじさん、それからサトシくんで、3人分。3枚。
3枚ってそういう意味だったのかい？
Huh? What?
3枚は、そういう意味じゃなかったんですか？
いや、合ってるよ。関わった人間が3人だから3枚の爪でけじめとしたんだよ。そう私も聞いてるよ。でも笠井さん、吉郎さん、それからしおんちゃんで3枚だと聞いてたよ。
Oh, that's rough, buddy. What? No, wait, no. I feel like doing the Chris Pratt from the Guardians of the Galaxy 2. What? And he's like, and then the dad's like, I know that sounds bad. And he just starts blasting him. You guys know what I'm talking about. What? Oh my god. Eh? What? Huh? What? I endured excruciating pain? The first one was my left pinky, then the ring finger, and then the middle finger. People held me down so I couldn't move. But I endured. I had to endure 3 nails. I didn't know which nail was for Satoshi-kun. If my middle finger was for Satoshi-kun, I'd have to endure until the middle finger was done so that Satoshi-kun would be forgiven. That was why I endured. Even Mion said afterward, everything was forgiven. Huh? Huh? Mion, didn't you say Satoshi-kun was forgiven? Didn't you? That's what I heard. I think that's what I heard. Or did I? Eh? Eh? Huh? I felt the air move. There shouldn't have been a breeze in that room, but I felt it anyway. The cool air stroked the back of my neck. That was when my true self stood right behind me and nodded. Although there was no wind, my hair billowed. The burning wickedness buried deep inside my eyes became visible.
どうして北条聡君は鬼隠しにあったのでしょう。
え？
聡君のご両親は確かに村を売ろうとしました。お社様のたたりがあったのは当然です。でも、聡君はその両親の子供であっただけ。その聡君にどんな罪が？
ミヨンちゃん？
聡君にどんな罪があったのかと尋ねています。あなたはさっき、罰当たりな北条家の坊主なら鬼隠しにあっても当然と言いました。鬼隠しにあっても当然な、どんな罪があったのかと聞いているのです。
Kimiyoshi didn't know what to say to the sudden question. He seemed dismayed.
聞かずともわかります。園崎お涼が決めたのです。お社様のたたりが及ぶのは、北条の姓を持つすべての人間と決めたから。
待って、ミヨンちゃん。別にそういうことが決まってるわけじゃない。
決めたわけではないのですか？
そうだよ。そんなことを決めたことなんかない。北条家にはお社様のたたりがいずれ下る。そういう話をおぼろげにしたことはあっても、そんなにはっきりとしたことを言及したことは一度もないし、誰もしてないよ。
ではさっきあなたが口にした北条の坊主なという言葉は何を根拠に出たものなのですか？
ごめんよ、ミヨンちゃん。あれは、言い過ぎたよ。謝る。
そういうことです。北条家なら何があってもたたり。北条の名を冠していればどうなろうが知ったことではないという、そういう考えが蔓延していることが問題なのです。サトシ君に罪があろうがなかろうが、北条という姓があればそれで汚らわしい。そういう考えが蔓延していることが問題なのです。そしてあなたはその蔓延でいぶされた汚れた思考に汚染された迷信盲信、許せない、お前のような存在が許せない、お前のような奴がサトシ君たち一家を追い詰めてあんなにもすり減らして、サトシ君がかわいそう、本当にかわいそう。彼が何をしたの？何もしてない、何もやってない、ただ北条であっただけ。それにどんな罪が、罰が、たたりが、呪いがどうして降りかからねばならなかったのか。一体サトシ君に何の罪があったというのか。
Chill, woman. Damn. I can't be too loud. Let me try. Wah! Sorry, I know that sucked. Mochi, I'm home. Welcome, Fuki. Hope work wasn't too bad. Kimiyoshi's upper body bent backward and fell onto the floor. That was that. I put my stun gun in my back pocket. What did you kill me?
ごめん、シオン。
She killed Kimiyoshi, dude. What the fuck? That is a hell of a twist.
今、なんて言った？
ゆうべ、高野さんと富武さんが死んだんだそうです。高野さんは焼死体で、富武さんは自殺みたいな感じで。今朝知ったんです。お父さんが親類の人からの電話で話してるのを聞いて。
As I thought, Keiichi didn't know anything about what happened after the festival last night. I have a PNG now. Maybe I should stream all so it's not a waste when Golden shouts me out. You have a PNG? Nice. I'd love to see it, but if you want to wait till you start streaming, that's fine too. But, yeah. Sounds awesome. Did you see the two fishermen were charged with... Yeah, you just talked... Or are you talking to Fuki? Sorry.
マスコミに報道されないのは当然なんです。過去にそうだったから。
Not really, it's just for when I join other streams to play. Okay. Well, I mean... we'd be happy to see you start streaming. I know I'd visit. Well, when I could, at least. But yeah, if you're interested in the idea of streaming, I'd say give it a shot. Why not? Keiichi insisted that unless he heard about it on the news, it couldn't be real. Wow, Golden, where's my tier 3 sub? I'm kidding. But the investigations into the series of mysterious deaths are done in secret now. Of course, he didn't hear about it on the news. You want a tier 3 sub? No, that was a joke. That was a joke. I'm kidding. Hold on, I was joking. I was kidding. God damn it, Golden, don't take me seriously. Fuck, I knew I shouldn't have made that joke. I'll just stick to my Fall Guys and Splatoon 3 with Psycho. But thank you for the hypothetical support. No problem, Fuki. We're always here for you if you ever need us. Just know that.
村長とか、あと園崎家出身の金バッジが警察に思いっきり圧力をかけたんだって聞いてます。
Hashtag sub to Fuki. I can get behind that movement.
じゃあ、つまり、二人の死は秘密裏に処理されてしまったということか。
そういうことです。もちろん警察は捜査をしてますよ。でも秘匿捜査ということなので、捜査活動にはかなりの制限が加えられているそうです。これは事実上の捜査妨害と言えるでしょうね。
信じられない。
Tier 3 sub to Mochi. No, don't do that.
人が死んだのに、それが公にされず、ひそやかに処理されるなんて。
Yeah, his first tier 3 has gotta be to Fuki. Just keep saying that so he doesn't tier 3 me, please. I'm begging you. I'm on my hands and knees. But I'm not going to stream. I was joking. You're good, Fuki. I'm just messing with you.
もっと噛み砕いて言うと、綿流しの夜に誰が死んでも公にはならないということです。
そんなバカな話があってたまるか。
It's the biggest pile of bullshit I've ever heard.
ケイちゃん、私以前にお社様のたたりは村人が起こしてるかもしれないって言いましたよね。つまりそういうことなんです。
And have some jelly beans. I like jelly beans.
God damn it, Golden. Thank you for the bits. Man, I swear, you've just got like a barrage of those. Just for the ready.
このひなみ沢では
Just a few.
毎年綿流しの夜にお社様のたたりということにして誰かを殺してもいい土壌がいつの間にか作り上げられているんです。
No, Golden, I'm gonna read your mind. I'm gonna read your mind. You have like a lot of bits, but you categorize them. Some for me, some for Abby, some for Yumemi when on the rare chance on the blue moon when she streams. Some for some other streamer. It's just you have them categorized. You're like, I can't put these bits into those ones. I read your mind. I know I did. Maybe. I knew it. I knew it. I'm in your head, Golden. I'm in your head. But if you want to see what I've been using, I can send you a clip of it in use. Yeah, you can. And if you don't want anyone else to see it, you can just DM it to me. Because I know you get self-conscious about it when you put it in the Discord. So you can just DM it to me if you want. Okay. Or just put it in the Discord. It doesn't matter to me. If Mochi's in my head, what animal am I thinking about now? That's not fair, Golden. Bear. Yeah, I'm going with the classic. Yes. That's the truth about the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa, also known as Oyashiro-sama's curse. On the day of the Watanagashi, 2 people will be killed. The perpetrators are using the curse of Oyashiro-sama as an excuse to kill one victim and make another disappear. Trick question, it was a plan instead. God damn it. That's why the curse of Oyashiro-sama takes place. That's what happens in Hinamizawa. And that's what happens within the curse. DM'd it to me? Oh, alright, let me check it out. Twitch-sama. Twitch-sama. Deshta. Domo, please. Come on. Oh, that's cute, Fuki. I love that. Oh my god. Thanks, Butsu, no problem. What Kimiyoshi said is all true. Infecting everyone with the idea that the enemy from the Dan conflict deserved to die was the root of all of this. That was a system of vague commands used in the Sonozaki family, created by its head, Oryu. The best burns are the simplest ones. Yeah. I couldn't actually hear the audio because I pulled it up on my phone, but I'll listen to it after stream. Stuff with Salmon Bear 747 is named fattest fat bear. Well, that's just mean. You think that bear wanted to be named that? Did he give his consent, or are they just name calling him? Look it up. Alright, alright. Bear 747. Wait, did this like just happen or something, or what? Fat Bear Week? This is a weekly thing. Also, that is a hefty boy. What a lad. He's named after a Boeing 747 because they're both large. I mean, can I enter into Fat Bear Week? If I entered in it, it wouldn't be fair. I'd literally just win the whole thing. But bears don't really have to worry about weight or anything like that, because their body is literally made to like resist that stuff, so I'm sure he's fine. One thing that must be mentioned about the command system is that the person giving the orders and the one executing them didn't need to interact in any way. Though Oryu was the commander, she never gave actual orders. She only had to expect something to happen. Every single one of the family council members around her would want to satisfy that expectation if given the chance. They didn't have to be proactive about satisfying it. They could be passive too. But when the chance arose, anyone who knew Oryu's intentions could potentially become one to execute her orders. Therefore, Oryu would never know who actually executed her order, and none of the relatives knew it either. But they all knew things would conclude just as Oryu wanted, and they could all assume it was one of their own who did it for her. This passive support system was thoroughly effective, and it spread all over the village. Its ties became even tighter after the dam conflict. Anyone could be the one to execute Oryu's orders. Therefore, everyone supported each other. If someone did something, then the others would try to satisfy Oryu's expectation in different ways. For example, they'd come up with false evidence or otherwise passively interfere with an investigation. Even if they didn't know exactly who they were protecting, they'd still work together to protect whoever it was. Yes, I'd finally figured out how it all worked. Phrased in a more organized manner, it would go as follows. The system of killing 2 people who are unwanted by the village each year required 3 elements. The first element was a region of solidarity. It was created during the long and unique history of Hinamizawa. The villagers' bonds became even tighter during the dam conflict. That was one of the conditions for this place to have a curse. It was an element that was already in the region, not one that could be created. The next element was having the same moral standards. This was a very important element, as the curse wouldn't have happened without it. Also, this element was created by Oryu Sonozaki herself, and that was why she could claim that this system was established by her own will. Having the same moral standards means that everyone everywhere acknowledges the same enemy. Even when everyone in the village joined together, it would be meaningless if they all didn't know exactly who the enemy was. During the dam conflict, Oryu Sonozaki made the identity of the enemy very clear to everyone. They couldn't just say that they were against the dam construction and that the government was their enemy. That wasn't clear enough. The government didn't really pinpoint who the enemy was. But Oryu made enemies out of the construction site itself, and therefore its manager. She chose targets that the villagers could see with their own eyes. They were clear and easy to understand. The villagers acknowledged that everyone at the dam construction site was their enemy, and that construction site manager was the enemy commander. Using the same method, she labeled one after another as an enemy of the village, practically cataloging a list of enemies to print into the villagers' minds. Earlier I had used the term infecting for this phenomenon. Those infected by this idea were the people unconsciously giving the orders to commit murder. When the infection spread across the village, when all of Hinamizawa's residents acknowledged the same enemy, that's when Hinamizawa itself became a murderer. Oryu combined these 2 elements, a solidary region and having the same moral standards, then selected the enemy and spread that notion throughout the village. The law would normally have punished both, the one who committed the crime and the one who gave the order. But Oryu's system didn't require an order at all. Oryu just had to become concerned about the enemy she had pre-selected. But that alone wouldn't cause the curse to take place. Oryu's concern was like a safety device, and even when the safety device was off, the curse wouldn't occur unless there was a finger to pull the trigger. Oh my god.
I loved it!
Just for you. Well, thank you, Fuki. I appreciate that. The message is not showing up for whatever reason, but I know that was you. So thank you. The last necessary element was to set a date for the execution. The night of Watanagashi. Damn it. Got confused. The night to venerate Oyashiro-sama, the guardian deity. Yeah, I can't talk. The guardian deity of Hinamizawa. What did I walk into? Welcome back, Ark. Was the train ride fun? On that night, the curse of Oyashiro-sama falls upon the two enemies of the village, and they disappear. Everyone in the village acknowledged that as fact. In other words, if the same incident took place on any of the other 364 nights of the year, it would be nothing other than a murder case. Ooh, trains. Train was really, really boring. Oof. But I assume from that you're back to your back home. But if it happened on the night of Watanagashi, then it would transform into the curse of Oyashiro-sama. I'm home now, though. Thank God. Nice. So with that, I guess the vacay is officially over. That's the only sad part. The idea that the villagers are allowed to kill their enemies on the night of Watanagashi had affected them. Well, Mochi, your grid is showing? A grid? Oh, it is. Maybe if I did that? I think I know what caused that, though. Because if I do this, and then... Or maybe that didn't cause it, I don't know. Like if I did that, that would make it show up. There we go. Okay, there we go. Alright, I got it. Thank you for telling me that, by the way. The villagers were the cells of this huge creature called Hinamizawa, and each cell would be taught who the enemy was. Yeah, vacay is over. How many people have died? Well, just Oryu and probably Kimiyoshi. I think the mayor is dead. The mayor is dead by Shion's own hands. The set date was basically a green light for whoever was in the best position to kill the enemy. That was the truth of the curse of Oyashiro-sama. Therefore, the one who actually killed Satoshi-kun isn't my enemy. The one who set up this murderous system, and the one who named Satoshi-kun's family as the enemy, is my enemy. To use a broader definition, Hinamizawa itself, and the very system of Oyashiro-sama's curse.
I got some jelly beans. I like jelly beans.
Fuck Mom hot.
I mean, true, she is. Last time I visited her, she was... Whew! Sheesh! Sorry, Art. I didn't want you to know that... I didn't want you to find out that I was your dad this way. I really apologize. What the fucking fuck? I'm gonna eat your face. I already killed the hag, the one who designed the system. Kimiyoshi, the one whose job it was to infect the villagers with the system, was already in my hands. I just had to find out who else was involved, and how much. It was like pulling a weed while being very careful not to break its roots. I announced that Keiichi Maibara was one of the people who snuck into the shrine storage. I was certain that fact had already spread throughout the underside of the village. In other words, Keiichi Maibara was an object of the curse of Oyashiro-sama now. Takano-san and Tomitake-san were found dead, having been killed in gruesome ways. That was the curse of Oyashiro-sama. In that case, they could demon away 2 more people as sacrifices to calm the anger of Oyashiro-sama. The set date for the curse was already over. But just like what happened to Satoshi-kun, demoning away was allowed a little extra time. Something would happen to Keiichi Maibara within a few days. I'd wait patiently, careful not to let my enemies simply take Keiichi Maibara, my bait. Y'all are grounded. Keiichi had been yelling on the other end of the phone for some time. He kept yelling that he didn't want to go in the ritual storehouse to begin with. He claimed that he was simply invited by Takano-san and me. He shouldn't be in danger because of that, he said. He was feeling a sense of crisis and tension. This is going to work. The livelier the bait, the easier it is to spot.
どうしてくれるんだよ。俺は全然関係ないんだぞ。
But son.
どうすんだよ。どうすんだよ。どうやって責任を取ってくれるんだよ。おい、聞いて。
Shut up. I've heard enough of your pitiful tears. I hung up the phone. There was no point in talking to him when he got like that. Besides, I had already achieved my goal, which was to make him realize the danger awaiting him. I took a deep breath, then called the house of the village chief.
はい。君吉です。
Sorry, I've been drinking. I'm gonna head out before I get worse. You're fine, Fuki. But if you need to take a little rest, go ahead. But we don't mind you here.
園崎です。どうです？
I'll see y'all later. Have a good one, Fuki.
村長さんは見つかりましたか？
ああ、ミオンちゃんか。片っ端から電話をかけてみたけど、ダメだよ。
Stay and help me mess with Ark.
見つからないんだ。参ったな。どこで油売ってるのかな。
I'm quitting the stream.
こっちでも心当たりにいろいろと問い合わせましたけど、全然。バッチャにも相談したんですが、青年団を招集して探し回った方がいいだろうということです。
Have a drink.
こんな時間にかい。それに別に行方不明になったと決まったわけでもないし。
綿流しの直後ですから、少し慎重に扱った方がいいとのことです。それでも見つからないなら、明朝警察に通報しましょう。見つかる見つからないは別にして、痛くない腹を探られない方がいいでしょうから。
お涼さんがそう言ったのかい？
はい。直接声を聞かないと信用できないなら、電話先に出させますよ。
いえ、わかりました。青年団を集めて探しましょう。それで見つからなければ、翌朝に警察に通報します。
青年団の連絡もよろしくお願いしますね。私もバッチャの代行ということでそちらに参ります。
ありがとう。すぐにみんなを集めます。
ええ。では。
The youth group had gathered at the Faraday Shrine. They were going to try to find the mayor. I also had to go, in absence of the hag. Just to be mean, I stopped by the underground torture room to let the mayor know that I was headed to the Faraday Shrine to search for him. Incidentally, according to the tab on the keychain, this underground torture room was actually called the Underground Storehouse for Ritual Implements. This was the man who was yelling that whoever trespasses on the ritual storehouse should be killed. Although it was an underground ritual storehouse, he was there now, atoning for what he'd done. It was pretty ironic. Maybe I was the only one who felt that way, though.
君吉のおじいちゃん、お具合はいかがですか？
Oof. Clink. Kimiyoshi didn't say a word, but he made a noise with the chain.
今ね、村中でおじいちゃんの姿が見えなくなったって大騒ぎしてますよ。
Okay, so she didn't kill him, but she trapped him as well as Mion. This ends like the fucking SpongeBob episode where they fill in for Barnacle Boy and Mermaid Man, and they just throw everyone in prison.
おじいちゃんの家から相談が来たので、青年団を招集して捜索を行うことにしました。これから行ってくるところです。
Was this mean or what? Kimiyoshi could only make noise with the chain. Couldn't even express any other emotion other than anguish.
鎖、少し長くしてあげましょうか？私の質問にちゃんと答えてくれるたびに、そうですね。鎖の輪っか1個分長くしてあげます。あと3個も長くなれば、だいぶ楽になると思うんですけどね。
Kimiyoshi's hands were tied behind his back with a tight wire. He was wearing a leather collar with a chain, which was strapped tightly around his neck too. The collar's chain was on a pulley attached to the ceiling, with the chain pulling him up toward it. Oh my god! That chain was very short and pulled very tight. Kimiyoshi had to stand on tiptoes to be able to breathe. He had been like that for almost an hour already. He's gonna die before... Good lord. He was already exhausted. If I left him overnight, he'd probably end up hanging himself.
さっきは知らないと言われましたけど、もう一回尋ねます。北条聡君について知っていることを教えてください。ああ、ごめんなさい。喋りたくても喋れません？じゃあ、私とおしゃべりの間だけ、ちょっと緩めましょう。
I turned the pulley just a little to loosen the chain that was pulling on Kimiyoshi's neck. Kimiyoshi's heels finally touched the ground, relieving the pressure on his muscles.
知らないんだよ、シオンちゃん。本当に知らないんだ。
サトシ君が生きてるのか死んでるのか、それすらも？
おじいちゃんは本当に何も知らないんだよ。
ま、ひなみ沢のたたりのシステムは、そういう部分で機密性を保持していますからね。おじいちゃんが知らないというのもありえなくはないことです。なら聞き方を変えます。サトシ君がどうなってるのか、君吉家当主の立場でご意見を伺いたいです。サトシ君は生きてる？死んでる？
Kimiyoshi didn't know what to say. If he said he didn't know, I'd tighten the chain and leave the room. That would be like a death sentence for him. But all I said was that I wanted him to speak as the head of the Kimiyoshi family. I didn't ask for him to tell the truth. But he didn't know what to say to avoid souring my mood and to get me to loosen the chains around him. He was obviously trying to figure out how to make me extend the chain.
生きてるんじゃないかって噂を聞いたことがある。
ああ、新幹線で東京にってやつですね。
警察が 東京で姿を見たというようなのを聞いた覚えが。
Oishi had told me that Satoshi-kun had been witnessed going on a bullet train heading to Tokyo at Nagio Station. But the police didn't know if that really happened or what became of Satoshi-kun after that. Therefore, this was simply a random assertion of Kimiyoshi's.
ねえ、君吉家の当主様？呪われた一族、北条家の人間をわざわざ失踪なんていう凝った消し方をしていて、わざわざ生かしておくのにどんな理由があるんです？ないんじゃないですか？それに、その東京で警察が見たという情報ソースを教えてください。私は大石と一時期連絡を密にしていましたが、そんなのは聞いたことないです。おじいちゃん、私の機嫌を取ろうとしていい加減なことを言ったなら、かえって怒っちゃいますよ。
She's kinda evil, dude. she's a bit fucked up. I mean, it's not like Kimiyoshi's innocent or a good guy or anything. Like, he definitely is, like, kind of deserving of this, but, like, I don't know. This is just evil. Like, I reached for the pulley controlling the chains around Kimiyoshi, and that act alone sent him panicking as he feared them tightening once more.
ごめんよ。別にシオンちゃんを怒らせようなんてつもりはないんだよ。謝るよ。
私、ご機嫌取りの話なら聞きたくないんで。君吉のおじいちゃんに、サトシ君のことを調べる協力をお願いしてるだけなんです。
わかってる。ちゃんと真面目に考えるから。
I took my hand off the pulley. Seeing that, Kimiyoshi began making loud groaning noises to try and show he was thinking hard.
ズバリ、生きていると思いますか？死んでいると思いますか？
生きてると考えるのは難しいんじゃないかと思う。
That is not a direct answer at all.
ですよね。生かしておくことで伴う膨大なリスクを負う意味ないですもんね。私だって同感ですし。
I really didn't mean anything too deep by it, but what I said truly scared Kimiyoshi.
警察は、おば殺しの犯人がサトシ君で、サトコの誕生日プレゼントを買うために貯めてた貯金で逃亡したと、そう考えてました。この辺、どう思います？
でも、その犯人は確か麻薬中毒の危ないやつだと聞いたよ。
あれ、どう思います？私は、私がこう言うのも変だけど、サトシ君がおば殺しの犯人だって信じてるんですよ。あいつは、例えばばあさんあたりに買収されて仕立て上げられた身代わりじゃないかと思うんですけど。
それはおじいちゃんも思ってたよ。突然ひょっこりと真犯人でしたなんて言われて、腑に落ちなかった。
やっぱり身代わり？
多分そうじゃないかと思うよ。
何のためにだと思います？
警察はサトシ君が犯人だと思って捜査を進めてたんだよね。サトシ君を鬼隠しということで失踪させておきたいと思うなら、警察の捜査がいつまでも続くのは面白くなかったんじゃないかな。
What Kimiyoshi just said is very interesting. He's perfectly correct. If the police continued their investigation, it would complicate things for whoever demoned away Satoshi-kun. Therefore, the hag came up with a decoy in order to bring an end to the investigation.
でも、そんな犯人のでっち上げなんて、そうそう簡単にできることじゃないですよ。
お嬢さん以外にはできないよ。そんなことは。
ばあさんが裏の世界で相当の力を持ってるというのは、私も知ってはいますけど、そんなにもあったんですね。
シオンちゃんだって、いろいろとダム戦争の頃から噂は聞いてるだろうし、中には実際に直接聞いたものもあるんじゃないかい？
During the dam protest, I actually saw them issuing orders to my relatives. Like, destroy their heavy machinery. Or, can we set up a checkpoint to blockade their construction vehicles? They set free their comrades from the police by coming up with alibis, destroying or forging evidence. I had seen relatives do those things, as well as the hag calling in counselors to the house to protest. As a child, I was pretty impressed. But when I thought back, it was more than that. She was truly the mastermind who controlled the underside of the world.
シオンちゃんだって建設省の幹部の息子というか建設大臣の孫だな。あれの誘拐事件の話は知ってるだろう。
Right.
あれって、やっぱ誘拐だったんですか？孫が鬼隠しになって、高津戸だか矢河内だかの山奥で見つかったって話は知ってたんですけどね。
あれはお嬢さんの指図によるものだよ。
I mean, yeah, it's kind of obvious.
ダム工事の中止の約束が取り付けられたんで、孫を釈放したっていうのは、おじいちゃんたち、旧同盟の幹部ならみんな知ってる。
身近にいすぎて私がよく分かってなかっただけで、やっぱりばあさんとか御三家とか旧同盟って大したもんだったんですね。怖い怖い。
Kimiyoshi finally realized the situation he was in, and he was answering my questions. That made me happy, but the more Kimiyoshi told me the truth, the more I realized Satoshi-kun really was dead. It made me very sad.
サトシ君を鬼隠しにした実行犯は誰だと思います？
わからないよ。それに誰が実際にやったかは問わないのが不分律だったから。
He was right. That was how the system worked. And so, that was a bad question.
誰がやったにせよ、大したものですよね。だって、人を殺して死体も出てこないなんて、結構簡単なことじゃないんじゃないですか？
誰が殺したかは別にして。例えば、死体の処理をお嬢さんが手伝ったという可能性は考えられるよ。今いるここの奥に死体を捨てるための井戸があることは知ってるだろ？
Oh shit.
ああ、確かに。どこかの山中に埋めるくらいなら、ここの井戸に捨てる方が絶対に安全ですもんね。
Whoever disappears becomes a sacrifice to calm the anger of Oyashiro-sama. That was the rule of this game. Therefore, the bodies must never be discovered. That's why the bodies had to be dumped somewhere nobody could find them. It's very possible that the well was used for that. Then, Satoshi-kun is at the bottom of that well? I grabbed a flashlight and headed to the huge cave with all the cells. As I turned on the lights in the cave, Mion noticed me and gave me a worried look. I ignored her and headed to the cell in the back. I was still very impressed by how the well was hidden. It was almost artistic. I shone the flashlight at the bottom of the well. I had no way of knowing how deep the well was. The light of the flashlight wasn't strong enough to reach the bottom. I inhaled and screamed into the well.
サトシくん。サトシくん
Satoshi-kun's name echoed again and again. It was obviously a very deep well. I thought of climbing down using the wedges on the wall. I mean, is that not a ladder right there? Like, you could just use the ladder. But with the flashlight hanging from my neck, I couldn't light my footing properly. And even if there was enough lighting, I didn't know if the wedges were sturdy enough. Shion! Right here, there's a ladder. I got you, fam. There's a ladder right here. What are you talking about? It would be like committing suicide. Satoshi-kun was at the bottom of this well. That's when I felt it. A warm hand rubbed my head for sure. Oh shit. Shion, you finally found me. Satoshi-kun. Satoshi-kun. Satoshi-kun! I've been looking for you for so long. I'm sorry I couldn't find you while you were still alive. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's not your fault, Shion. There was nothing you could have done before I was killed. But you did everything you could after I was dead. Satoshi-kun, I want to join you. I'm coming right now. I'm going to jump, so please catch me. Satoshi-kun smiled bitterly. I was saddened to see him reject me. Shion, I'm happy that you found me. But you're alive, Shion. It's so important to be alive. You can't waste it. If you aren't here, I don't want to live. I want to be with you, Satoshi-kun. I want to be close to you. I want you to rub my head again. I want to spend time with you. I'll be a good girl. I want to be with you. Live. Do I have to? Live and enjoy your life. Okay? What's so fun about living alone? You'll find out, so long as you're alive.
生きる。生きるよ。
Oh.
生きる。
Oh. Shion. The eerie well now felt warm. I wasn't allowed to go down to the bottom. But the edge of this well was the place where you and I could meet. Oh. My heart.
ミオン。
Uh-oh.
サトシ君、見つけた。井戸の底なんだね。そうだと思う。そこしかないもん。
Mion started to sob.
ミオンは、サトシ君が殺されるところには居合わせなかったんだよね。
No.
うん。もし居合わせたら、サトシ君を許してもらえるよう、ばあさんに意見してくれたかな。絶対にする。せめて命だけはって、絶対に言うよ。嘘だ。
Oh.
え？
Uh-oh. On that day, a year ago, I had just recalled how cruel Mion was then, when she forced me to rip out my nails, acting in her role as the successor. Even if she was there when Satoshi-kun was killed, she wouldn't have stopped being the successor. Satoshi-kun was brought to the torture room. When he saw Mion, I'm sure he thought she would save him. Even as he heard the family head read out his death sentence, I'm sure he looked at Mion and believed that she would save him. He believed that Mion was acting that way only because she was with her relatives. He believed she would help him, but she didn't do anything. He was strapped to a restraining device, and yet she still wouldn't do anything. Mion was cruel. Mion? Isn't it about time to help me? I see. I get it. You're with the rest of the family members, so you can't even show a hint of compassion. That sucks. Uh-oh.
助けろ助けろなんで助けないの
Oh, God.
サトシ君の助けを懇願する眼差しを見て、どうして心を動かされなかったの
It's a good question, honestly.
あんたはサトシ君が意地悪おばのせいで追い詰められていた時から何も救いを差し伸べなかったあんたは同情する素振りを見せるだけで助けなかった見殺したあんたがサトシ君を助けなかったから追い詰められたんだ私は救おうと頑張ったよ彼の心の支えになろうと頑張ったあんたらがサトシ君のおば殺しをかばわなくても私は彼のアリバイのために自らを投げ打って戦ったその結果が爪3枚なんて安いもんでしょでもねそれだけの努力じゃサトシ君を救うには全然足りなかった届かなかったどうしてかだって私はシオンだったんだもんシオンはひなみ沢から遠ざけられていて何からも戸ざまで何も教えられなくて知れなくてでもあんたは違うあんたはミオンだったあんたはひなみ沢のうちにいて全ての中心で全てを教えられて全てを知ることができた私があんただったらきっとサトシ君を救えた私なら救ってあげられた
Sorry if I'm being quiet, I just... God damn, this scene is hitting hard.
あんたがミオンになったからだ返してミオンもともとミオンはあんただけのもんじゃない私のものでもあったはずそれにもともとミオンは私のじゃない
Oh shit.
私があんたに貸してあげるようになっただけで本当は私のだったじゃない
Oh.
返せ私のミオンを返せ
Oh god, Shion.
お前がミオンの外見をしているだけでも無実が走るお前じゃなく私がミオンだったらだったら
I kicked the bars. I kicked them again and again. You're gonna break your foot at that point. You're gonna pull a mochi and break your foot like I did. Don't do that, Shion. It's not fun. Mion curled up fearfully in the back of the cell, as if she were trying to prevent the bars from crashing down onto her. God damn. That's rough, man. Holy shit. Holy shit, that is rough. Fuck. I mean, let's be real. Mion deserves all of it because she's an evil bitch, but Still, man, damn. After that, I joined the youth group in the search for Kimiyoshi. I went down the town council's phone directory and called to see if he had visited, then had the group split according to the circular notice divisions and sent them to search the town. Everybody seemed to be assuming they wouldn't find him. But since I knew they definitely never would, it was just bothersome to me. Even after midnight, they were all still enthusiastically looking for him. I bore the sleepiness away while yawning. Then I heard somebody whisper, "Last year, we did the same thing when Satoshi-kun went missing." The youth group was looking for someone who would never be found, just like last year. I was yawning because I knew this. Last year, there must have also been some people who were yawning and grinning on the inside.
去年の捜索って何時に終わりましたっけ？
あ？北条んとこのサトシん時かい？ありゃ何時だったっけ？
午前の0時過ぎぐらいには解散したような気がするな。
It was already 2 in the morning. Although they spent this much time searching for Kimiyoshi, they didn't do the same when Satoshi-kun went missing. After all, some people knew they wouldn't find him. They must have been sleepy. They must have said they should leave it to the police. Shit. Shit. I want to kill the people who said that. Fuck, man. I feel like Shion's becoming corrupted herself. I mean, I feel like that's kind of obvious at this point. But that is where we're going to stop today. That was fucking eventful as all hell, dude. Jesus Christ. I hope you guys enjoyed that, because I did. I thought it was pretty neat. Just seeing like Shion's perspective, and we got the twist that not only was Shion the one that spooked Keiichi, but she also kidnapped Kimiyoshi, and that's why he disappeared. It wasn't because he was like demoned away or something like mystical like that. Nope. It's just fucking it was just I can't English. Oh my god, Brain, please. I'm begging you. I'm on my hands and knees, Brain. Why can't I think? Oh my god. It was Shion. I don't know why that took so long to say. That shouldn't have took so long to say. I'm mad that took so long to say. But, yes, we are going to go ahead and raid. I'm going to raid a streamer that I like watching pretty often. We're going to raid Daisy. There we go. But yes, thank y'all for joining me. Thanks for just chilling out and having a good time with me. Y'all already know I appreciate y'all a lot. Oh, right. This is the raid message for anyone who's still here. Stinky bear, shut up. The greatest bear man of all time. But yes, as always, when we go into Daisy's stream, let's show her lots of love, show her the good old Mochi community love, and announce that this is the greatest bear raid of all time like we usually do. But I'll see y'all later. Hope y'all have a good one, and bye-bye.
So, we got an Arcana check.